This video's for you, chaps magoo.
Miirym versus Tuvasa, Oona, and partners Vial Smasher and Jeskai. Way too heavy a hand there, so we'll have to mulligan. Okay, well that's not incredible, but I'm hoping, we've been burned by this before, but I'm hoping we can refill our hand with Rishkar's expertise. Land tax from Tuvasa, and we draw into a forest. Let's get down a tapped Tricycle land. Mana Crypt from Oona, followed by a Thief of Sanity. Utopia Sprawl onto one of the forests that was brought out with land tax. Another land for us, annoyingly. Vial Smasher the Fierce. Thief of Sanity swings in towards Tuvasa, then casting a Dire Undercurrents, and there is a Phyrexian Tower in play as well. A Herald of the Pantheon, followed by Blind Obedience. Okay, Guardian Project, so yeah, I think it's Dragon's Horde into Guardian Project the turn after. That does of course enter tapped thanks to the Blind Obedience. A Warm Power Stone is going to Lightning Bolt one of us, and then we are being attacked by the Vial Smasher. Thief of Sanity entering the red zone in our direction. Steel of the Godhead going on to the Thief of Sanity, so that will be +1/+1 and it can't be blocked. Lightning Greaves going on to the Thief of Sanity as well. Lightning Bolt from the Vial Smasher, that goes onto the Herald of the Pantheon. Propaganda being played into the Extort on the Blind Obedience. They do pay for the Extort there. Okay, another piece of ramp in Cultivate. It might be that we just go for our commander next turn. I'm not sure if that's wise against the Rakdos player, who's obviously a control type player. Also, are they going to be try hard and go for a Blood Moon? Might be best getting down a basic if that's the case. We'll just cast the Guardian Project here. A Lightning Reaver now. Haste and Fear. When it deals combat damage to a player, a charge counter goes on it. At the end step, it deals damage equal to the number of charge counters on it to each opponent. Does enter tapped, thanks to the Blind Obedience. And we get hit for 2 by the Vial Smasher again. And then it is a Mana Vault from the Rakdos player. Thief of Sanity hits the Vial Smasher this time. Didn't realise the Thief of Sanity actually stole our Lightning Greaves previously, so that's what they played from exile for us. And this one is from the Tuvasa. Didn't point that out previously. Casting a Wayfarer's Bauble, which does come in tapped. And then a Dark Steel Plate comes in tapped as well. Doesn't matter with equipment. They actually can't equip that thanks to having Shroud on their commander. Or not their commander, on the Thief of Sanity. Tuvasa the Sunlit entering play here. And they do pay into the Extort. Well, it's just more ramp for us in Kodama's Reach. We've nothing to make use of our commander with, so I think I'll just go for the 2 ramp spells here. Jeskai Thrice Reborn, cast by the partner player. And then tripling the damage that is going to be dealt by the Lightning Reaver. Then it is Chaos Warp. That goes on to the Propaganda, so maybe looking to attack the Tuvasa player. I think that took them into another land. That's Canopy Vista, I think. Vial Smasher in at us again, and the Lightning Reaver does go in at Tuvasa. Tuvasa is a 4/4, but the Lightning Reaver does have Fear, so can't be blocked. Thief of Sanity ignoring the Jeskai and going through to Tuvasa. Now casting the Scarab God. And that does trigger the Dire Undercurrent, so have themselves draw a card. Mill goes on to the Tuvasa player. They have a Shield of the Oversoul in the bin, as well as an Argothian Enchantress. Casting Voltaic Key as well, going down to 3 cards in hand. Bear Umbra enchanting the Tuvasa, and Tuvasa swings in at the Dimir player. And that is a Nyxbloom Ancient from the Tuvasa player. Pretty damn good if you're untapping lands every turn. Paying into the Extort on that. Oh, come on. Need to stop drawing into lands here. A Bloodstained Mire. Let's crack that so that we're drawing into a lot less lands, hopefully. So I might as well play our commander. That triggers the Dragon's Horde and the Guardian Project. And we just draw into another land from the Guardian Project. Yeah, so I might as well draw a card here. Alright, finally getting into an actual dragon, Imrith Desert Doom. Once again, we eat 2 damage from Vial Smasher. And Lightning Reaver goes in at Tuvasa. The Jeskai did 0 down onto the Lightning Reaver as well, so it will be 369 damage going on to Tuvasa. Some whining going on in the chat as usual. The Thief of Sanity going in towards Tuvasa again. Already 1 card in exile over here. And there we see an Enchanted Evening going into the bin. And he has stolen a Sphere of Safety over here. Controls 3 enchantments at the moment. Alright, make that 4. An Alpha Authority going on to the Scarab God. So playing both of the exiled cards from Tuvasa. Hall of Heliod's Generosity being activated and going on Shield of the Oversoul. So they put that back on top of their library. They have managed to keep hold of triple mana here thanks to the Nyxbloom Ancient, so I'm assuming that the Rakdos player doesn't have removal. And there we see a Sigil of the Empty Throne, so they're about to draw into the aura that they just put on top, paying into the Extort. So that comes in and enchants the Tuvasa. They can untap their land yet, don't forget, thanks to the Bear Umbra. They pay the Extort again and get an Angel from the Sigil. Tuvasa swinging in at the Dimir player, maybe trying to get the enchantments back. I think these get exiled, don't they? They don't go into the bin. I think these go into exile once this player's taken out. Anyway, all the lands being untapped. So that deals with one player, they go down to -2. Okay, so around to our turn. Like I said, I'm assuming they don't have any removal for us, so I'm hoping that we can actually land this Rishkar's Expertise. There's a Parallel Lives for us, which I don't think we're going to get a chance to cast. So cast the Rishkar's Expertise. Alright, awesome, and actually managed to draw into a bunch of cards here. That is pretty awful. I mean, it's good to see the back of it all, but yeah, that's a lot of lands and not a whole lot else. Might as well go for the Parallel Lives here, I think. And then we can go for double Utvara Hellkites next turn into the Imrith. It is legendary, so we don't get another copy of this, but we will get multiple Utvara Hellkites, so probably mana draining something over the next turn cycle to make room for all that. Going to hold back the commander here because we might be looking at taking lethal commander damage from Tuvasa next turn, so we might have to chump block annoyingly. Okay, thought it was strange that they'd held up mana all that time. Dictate of the Twin Gods doubles up the damage, which along with triple damage I don't like the sound of, so yeah, we'll see where this 5 damage goes. It does not go on us, thankfully. Yeah, I think that has to be a mana drain. I think there's every chance that they're not swinging in at us, but I can't risk it. And if I mana drain there, it might be that Tuvasa still sees the Rakdos player as a threat. They might look at the mana drain as the two of us teaming up on this guy, and therefore won't swing in at us with this. Bit of wishful thinking for you. Once again, triple damage being laid on the Lightning Reaver. So as I thought, the Lightning Reaver goes in towards the Bant player, which bodes well for us. I'm hoping that that means this will be swinging in over there in revenge. That is a 3rd charge counter going on the Lightning Reaver now. So Lightning Reaver going on the stack at the end of the turn. It is only 3 damage still because Jeskai just cares about combat damage. Hall of Heliod's Generosity going after the Enchanted Evening now. So gonna turn everything into an enchantment and may well wipe everything out here. Casting Enchantress's Presence first. Then Enchanted Evening going to cantrip thanks to the Presence. And then there is Extort and Make an Angel. Tuvasa swinging in towards the Rakdos player, who does have mana held up, so might be able to do something about this. It'll have to be exile, untapping all the lands to the Bear Umbra. And that is Breath of Melphagor. 5 damage to each opponent, so Vial Smasher might deal 5 damage to the Bant player here. It is random with Vial Smasher, so it could be us. Ha, it actually does deal 5 damage to the Bant player. And you want to see something funny? The Bant player actually said GG because he thought he was about to win the game, or at least knock the Rakdos player out. Yeah, I really do like it when someone loses after a preemptive GG. It's not over till it's over, I'm afraid. And this opponent has now gone down to only 2 mana, so they actually can't pay the ward on our Miirym, so we've got free reign next turn. We probably lose to the Rakdos player's direct damage anyway. Fear is artifacts and black creatures, I think. Yeah, so we probably just lose straight away anyhow. Alright, so in response there is a Heliod's Intervention. Oh, they've also got the Extort on that, which will have them survive. We do have our Miirym survive there, thanks to the ward, because they didn't account for that, thankfully. So they stay at 2 life, we go down to 8. So they do actually manage to knock them out. That is -1, 26 commander damage. And then we go through to the end step. Our opponent just holds up a bunch of mana. I think our only means out of this is wiping out some of these enchantments. So yeah, maybe we just go for the Time Twister here. So we get 5 mana from the Mana Crypt. Let's... Is drawing into the Ancient Tomb gonna matter here? Yeah, we probably draw into another land. Let's just go for the Time Twister. Not bothering with the Utvara Hellkite because Blind Obedience will have it come into play tapped anyway, and our opponent goes wide on us next turn. Okay, just draw into the Utvara Hellkite again. Also got Omniscience. Stuff still comes in tapped, annoyingly. Okay, the Thundermaw might be able to save us here by tapping down the Angels. We can't blow them up, but we could get them out of the way. Let's try and bait our opponent by casting a bunch of dragons. Maybe we can get rid of counter magic or removal from their hand. So we'll just play out the Omniscience. Let's drop the Utvara Hellkite with the Omniscience. Makes a copy with the Miirym, doesn't matter if it comes into play tapped. Puts a gold counter on the Dragon's Horde, draws us a card as well. Alright, a Cultivate, that's par for the course this game, isn't it? All the lands and nothing to do with it. So we get 3 Utvara Hellkites. Play the Savage Ventmaw, draws us into Aristic Study, which is way too late for us. Play the Thundermaw Hellkite. Thundermaw Hellkite does tap down the Angels here, and we just get into another land. Do get a couple of copies of Thundermaw Hellkite, but not quite enough damage. We are 1 away from blowing up those Angels. All we really need to do is tap them down and get through with our commander here. So hopefully they don't have any removal for us. So we get to draw 1 more card here. Okay, and it's just it's just a land again, so we'll have to hope that our opponent doesn't have anything for us here. Have to imagine with 7 cards in hand that they've got something for us. Obviously we had to go for the Time Twister. So it is Utvara Hellkite going to make us a 6/6 dragon apiece. Wow, and we actually got it. Our opponent decides to scoop there, so they didn't have the swords or anything, which they definitely could have afforded. Yeah, and our opponent's pretty annoyed about it. That game went absolutely appallingly for us. Even in the last few draws there, we just were not getting into anything at all. I suppose good practice would have been to get out the Ristic Study with the Omniscience, maybe pull out more basics with the Cultivate before we try and draw even more cards. Maybe that helps us a little bit, but yeah, even now drawing into these cards, we're just not getting into dragons for whatever reason. There are a lot of dragons in recent sets that just aren't available on Magic Online, so I've had to settle for worse dragons, but yeah, this is by far the worst that the deck has performed, but it was a pretty funny story with the Tuvasa player acting like he did, and yeah, you don't say GG until the game's over, and this proves why. I'm tribalkai. Thank you for watching.